Morning, everyone. We had some big news drop today. The Acolyte trailer just hit the airways a couple of hours ago. I want to talk about it real quick. Those of you that know me know I love Star Wars, as you can see by all of the stuff along the back walls behind me. So we want to talk about it. It's amazing. It looks like it's going to be amazing. I can't wait to watch it. June 4th cannot get here soon enough. We'll talk a little bit about the trailer. I want to give you a little bit of background first, just because of where it's set in kind of in the timeline. So the Acolyte is set in what's called the High Republic era. That is an initiative, that they started on the publishing side about 4 years ago, I want to say now, 3 or 4 years ago. And what it does is they took in the books and the comics, so all the publishing side, is they set up a timeline as time in kind of 500 years, kind of pre everything that you're used to. So about 500 years before the events of the Phantom Menace. So what you will have, we've taken all of the Skywalkers out of play, there's no Darth Vader, there's no Palpatine, there's no any Luke Skywalker, there's not any of that. It's about 500 years ahead of that, before that. And what we've got then is, as part of that storytelling, is they allow you to it gives you kind of the freedom to do whatever you want. And it's an amazing series. I've read all of the books minus one. I'm working on the current one right now. But they are a great series you want to go through. If you like to read, that's a great place to start. You want to start with the very first one and kind of work your way through. They're doing them in 3 phases. So basically phase 1 was kind of the introduction of kind of what happens. There's a major event that happens kind of in the first book. That's kind of what kicks off everything. And then what happens then in phase 2 is they actually do exactly what the movie phase did, is they actually jump back in time. They'll actually go back another couple of hundred years before phase 1. So you're about 700 years before the events of Phantom Menace. They go back, you get to see kind of where the initial impetus for the bad guys kind of start. And then in phase 3, which they just got to here in December, I believe they started phase 3. They jump back in time to now a year after where phase 1 ends. There's a big event at the end of phase 1 that is kind of now, you're feeling the reverberations across the galaxy in phase 3. I'm not going to get into too many spoilers on the books, but it's an amazing series. Make sure that you work your way through if you want to. There's amazing Jedi in there. They have all kinds of different force powers. The lightsabers are all different as what we saw in this trailer. So they're really great to see different things that it's a different take on it. It's the Jedi at the height of their powers. So you see tons of Jedi. They can all do amazing things. So it's really cool to see all of these things kind of play out. And it gives you kind of a different perspective on it, which is amazing. So that's kind of where this story is set. So the Acolyte series is supposed to be about a Sith Acolyte. So at this point then, the Sith hasn't been seen in thousands of years when this trailer kind of kicks off. So when we get to the end of the trailer and you see the spinning red lightsaber and everybody's like, what the hell is that? And that's because they didn't believe that it had been around. I mean, even in Phantom Menace, which is going to be set a couple hundred years after this series. So this is probably the last time they'll see a Sith before Phantom Menace. So even in those couple hundred years, even Qui-Gon was like, hey, they're not around anymore. So to not see them for thousands of years and then see one kind of pop up is kind of blowing their mind. You can kind of see that in the trailer. So let's kind of talk about the trailer real quick. The trailer opens with a teacher walking through. He's talking to the younglings, asking them what they'll see. Of course, one of them says fire, so they can bring in the sense of foreboding. It cuts to a scene of somebody kind of walking through a bar, looking very mysterious, walking through a kind of a concourse and then into a bar. We see Carrie-AnnMoss's character in there as well. It's great to see her actually as a Jedi. I thought she might actually, because there's been no kind of announcements or details about this, very few details about this show. So I was kind of, with Carrie-AnnMoss's kind of credentials, I was kind of thinking she was going to be maybe the main bad guy in all of this. It was nice to see her actually as a Jedi. I think that'll actually be nice to actually see her kind of on that side of the fence in there. We've got to see a couple of cool fight scenes with her. She looks really great. Exciting to see her kind of take her Matrix kind of stuff and kind of apply it here. So I'm excited to see kind of what she's going to do in there. There's a line in there about them killing Jedi. Obviously, that usually doesn't happen a whole lot, at least not, or somebody's mysteriously killing them, which is interesting because it makes it sound like it's kind of an assassin kind of picking them off. And we see a couple of folks that could be kind of assassin-y type people throughout the trailer. Again, not a lot of details with this. So really kind of excited to see kind of where they're taking all of these, because we're still, even after a trailer, 106 seconds, and we still don't have, it answers a lot of questions and it brings up so many more, which is what a great trailer should do. So it's really kind of interesting to see the different pieces that they've got there. At about the 110-ish minute mark, you see a green Jedi kind of open the door with the Force. My belief is that is going to be a character named Vernestra Rwoh. She is actually making the jump from the publishing side into live action. She's going to be, I think, the only character that does that, as far as I know. So if that's who that is, she is an amazing character. She is, in the book, she is one of the youngest people ever to be named a Jedi Knight at like 17 or something, which is crazy. If you know 17-year-olds, you know that they do not have their shit together. And you see her kind of struggle with that in the books as well. Like, she's confident, but sometimes in the back of her mind, she's like, am I really, capable of doing these things? So it's really kind of a great kind of storyline with that. One of the things about Vernestra that you will find, she carries a purple lightsaber, which one in and of itself is cool, but two, in the books, she can twist a knob and that lightsaber becomes a light whip and she can use it as a whip. I don't know if they're going to have the budget. I mean, it's Disney. They'll have the budget and the special effects. If they can pull that off in live action, that will be friggin' amazing. So curious to see if they will pull that off. I saw a ship crash. So that's probably, that's obviously the bad guys bringing them down. Kind of bringing it to a confrontation point in there as well. One of the other main characters, Daphne Keane, you may know her from a couple of different things. If you've seen His Dark Materials, she's the lead actress in that. If you remember Wolverine, she was X-23, and that she was much, much younger at that age as well. She was in something else too. I can't remember what else she was in that I really liked as well. But she's an amazing actress. I didn't recognize her. They have her as an alien in this trailer or in this series. So I didn't recognize her right off. She's real kind of light blue. She actually looks like an Andorian from Star Trek. So that's why I didn't catch her right away. She's the one at the end of the trailer that says, "What is that?" before the red lightsabers go kind of flinging by. I watched the trailer 3 times already this morning. She actually appears earlier in the trailer, but I didn't happen to catch her until the end of the trailer. So it's really cool. I'm excited to see it. Like I said, I can't wait for June 4th to get here. Be interesting to see kind of what the other kind of major outlets say about it. But anybody who has been a High Republic fan and on the publishing, on the reading side of things, is really excited for this series because the characters are all amazing. There's so much complexity. The bad guys are all really smart. They're not just like mustache twirling villains. Like, they are really, really great. Now, I don't think that we're going to have those in this series. I think obviously we're going to have a Sith Acolyte. There may be reference from the bad guys in the books. They're called the Nile. Those you may have a reference, but I think what's going to draw you in in this series is obviously it's Star Wars, but two, even for the Star Wars fans, it's the variety of Jedi and the variety of powers. And then at the end, we saw the variety of lightsabers and all the different colors. That's the thing that really I kind of love from the books is it's not just blue, green, and red with one guy carrying a purple lightsaber. There's all kinds of different colors. There's oranges and yellows, blues and greens and all those types of things. But there's a bunch of different colors as well. So it allows you to kind of show some more personality as well too. And they tend to be a little bit more looser. Like we all know how stiff kind of Mace Windu was, or even Obi-Wan as well. They were very kind of, I don't want to use the word militaristic, but they were very kind of rigid in their thought process. This batch of Jedi, because it's kind of earlier, they're a little bit more loose. They're not quite as uptight. They're willing to kind of debate things more, as opposed to Mace Windu's kind of my way or the highway type thoughts. So I think what you're going to see is you're going to see a little bit more kind of philosophy. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of badass fighting, but I'm very kind of excited to see kind of what they're going to give us. But the first trailer, that first 106 seconds, looked friggin' amazing. I cannot wait for that to get here. But that's what I've got to say for this morning. I hope everybody else is excited to see it as I am. Reach out if you want to kind of talk about this with me. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Threads. You can find me on Instagram. Obviously, you can reach out to us over here at For Frequency's Sake as well. But reach out to us and let us know. Let me know kind of what you thought of the trailer, if you're excited for it. And yeah, when June 4th gets here, I think that's going to be an exciting time. All right, so thank you everyone for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.